Thank you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Adventures with Rhonda. And today we're talking about how are you growing? What is it that you're doing with your life? Because if we really think about it, we're growing either for the good or we're growing for either the bad. Because once we've started to make a decision, we're starting a path of growth. Now, guess what? We can grow by getting better or we can grow by getting worse. You can grow more angrier with somebody. You can grow more happier with somebody. These things are a process, and guess what? You have the decision. The choice is up to you on how you are growing. Yeah, think about it. A flower grows. The flower needs sunlight, it needs good nurturing soil, it needs water to thrive in the environment that it's in. But as we are growing, some of us may not have the best soil that we started out growing in. Some of us may have grew up in an area that was less productive. Some of us may have been in situations that hurt us so strongly that it has affected our growth. It is unfortunate, but we can decide what we're going to do with those choices, those things that have happened, because we don't have to let where we started be where we end. I am so glad you joined me today, and I want to talk about how are you growing. I want you to take a moment to think about the seconds, the moments, and the days of your life where you've grown the most. Maybe you said, I've grown better at being a better father. I've grown better at being a better mother. I've grown better at being just a better person in general. I've grown being happier. I've grown being grateful. But have you also had those moments where you grew bitter? Where you grew tired? Where you grew so much hatred and anxiety and depression that you formed, and you're just like, I do not want to be in this place. I do not want to be in this kind of space. What I mean by space, that kind of mindset, that kind of mood that you're in. I don't want to be grumpy anymore. I don't want to be hateful anymore. I don't want to be so upset that it's causing me to have physical issues and discomfort. I don't want that lifestyle. I'm tired of growing thorns. You want to be tired of going on those thorns that can affect your life. You want to grow flower petals. You want to grow to a point where you can feel the sun shining on you, not the elements fighting against you. So here we're going to talk about how you are growing. If you said yes, that is still me, that I'm still growing, but I'm not growing in good water. I'm not growing good soil. I'm not growing just the goodness of the sunshine. I'm not growing, and I need help. We've all been in a place where we've grown and where we, wish we've had made better choices, wish we've had made better decisions. It's okay. It's time to start growing the right way. It's time to start growing healthy. It's time to start growing happy. It's time to start growing joy. It's time to start growing. Just grow up. Because we don't want to cause us to wilt. We don't want to start growing and just start to feel like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in this point in my life. I don't want to be here in this moment because I've made some poor choices. But the problem is when we get to that place, it's a good thing that we realize we don't want to grow those things anymore. We don't want to be multiplying hatred. We don't want to be multiplying just bitterness and just ugliness in the world. But we can't just sit there and just say, I want to be better. We have to do things to get there. There's some small steps we can take. You're not going to be, take these massive, huge steps. It'd be great if we could do that. But a lot of times we can take these huge steps and we fall farther back than we began because we get so excited about what we want to do and we realize we need to celebrate those small victories. Because those small steps are going to lead to consistency and better days and better moments and being a better person. It's hard when we want the big picture. We want to be happy all the time. We want to have all of this, and have we celebrated today's moments? Have we grown enough happiness for today? We can struggle with issues, but if we don't realize that we can be stewards over ourselves and our minds, and that we have the ability to make our thoughts better, to make our life better, people will say and do things that are not what we want them to do. And, we can control, guess what? Our own selves. Some things about words, what people say, yeah, words can be hurtful, but are you giving them the power to hurt you? People will do stuff to get a reaction out of you. They'll try to say stuff to get you to get upset. They'll try to do things to get you in a place that they're in. They want you to be upset. They want you to be angry. But guess what? You have that choice. Yes, you don't like what they did. You don't like what they're doing. You don't want them to do those things. But we have to learn that we can't control people. We can't make them do things. But we can control our reaction to what they're doing. Don't get upset. I find out that we beat ourselves up because of the things that we didn't get done, that we wanted to do, or that we're just angry, or we're upset. People didn't do what they were supposed to do. Now I got to do their job. I mean, we can get bogged down with everybody else's stuff, including our own things. But take a moment to say, hey, guess what? I know that this situation may look rough right now, but I am going to do what I can to help the situation be better. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to be aware of what's going on so I can make sure that I don't let poor decisions affect my mood, make me angry, make me upset, make me depressed. Because we can grow that stuff in our mind and make that little molehill into a huge mountain, and that it's even much harder to climb. Say, yeah, you know what? I wanted that new dress, but it didn't go on sale, and I thought it was going to go on sale, and then they started to take it off the racks because they found problems with it, and I wanted that so bad, and you was like, wait a minute, now I'm mad they're not selling that. Or, electronics, I wanted this specific electronics, but something happened, they had to recall it. Things happen. You wanted that job, but somebody else got it. Was that part of your plan? Was that part of where you're supposed to be? We have to ask ourselves questions to make sure we're in the right headspace, because, we can look at something and it can be completely different than what we expect it to be. We can see a thorny bush and wonder, what in the world is that thing? And it's got these red things growing off of it. And then the closer we get to that bush, we can smell the fragrance of the roses. Something so thorny growing something so beautiful. So we need to take a look at what's making our thorns. Is disobedient children making us thorny? Is all of these unnecessary things that we are letting attack us worth the things that are starting to grow in our heart? Yes, you didn't make the decision about that particular job, the right one. Yes, you did not make this decision about the right food that you wanted to serve. Somebody didn't like the dinner you prepared. We need to reevaluate our lives. We need to reevaluate, what are we thinking? How are we growing? Are we going to let things that people don't like get to us, and to a point where we're going to be hateful and we're going to be bitter and that we're not going to like them? Guess what? Everybody's growing. Everybody's trying to figure out this thing called life. Everybody's trying to figure out, how do we do this? How do I get up when I don't want to get up? How do I get to my feet to even turn the water on the shower to get in there? We can definitely have some extremely hard days and hard times, but our mind can determine how long we stay there. Man, you go, oh, I should have made that other choice. Oh my gosh, I missed out on that opportunity. Learn from those things instead of just letting that sink in your mind and making you feel terrible every day, and every time you just get a time to breathe, some terrible thought comes to your mind. Guess what? Don't play those games. Don't play those shoulda, coulda, woulda games. Play, guess what? Now I know, and I'll do better the next time. Oh, he doesn't like this for dinner. I'm not going to make it because I know it won't be eaten if I don't eat it. Oh, I should have picked that other job because I could have been able to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Yeah. But the power of knowing. I'm going to do better next time now that I know. Oh, I wish I had have made that other choice. But guess what? I know next time. So growth is part of life. Something is happening. Something is changing. But what's changing? Are you growing in the right way? Or are you tearing yourself apart? Are you becoming a thorny bush that's starting to wilt the roses, the petals off of you? Come on, come on. I'm reaching out because these are things we all think about. In some form or fashion, we think about what it is that's making us angry. Or why is this making me angry? If somebody's happiness is making you angry, what is it a them problem or is it a me problem? Because if somebody's happiness, that is a good thing. That they're being successful the right way. I'm not talking about people getting things by ill means, by terrible gains. I'm talking about people who are doing the right thing and they are reaching their goals. Are you celebrating them? Or are you the person tearing them apart? Are you envious and jealous and you want to just be them and have what they have or take what they have? We all have our own individual purpose. What is your purpose? Are you throwing stones at somebody else's success because you are terrified of your own failures? Don't throw stones. Because when you throw stones, you are throwing stones at yourself and about what you should be doing in your life. Because your rocks are only hurting yourself. You may try to hurt them by your words, but guess what? It's not going to happen. If they are strong enough mentally to know, wow, that person is really hurting, they're trying to throw stones at me. Who's the bigger person? Don't let your anger with where you are tear down other people and where they are going. Celebrate your moments. Guess what? If you are struggling with some form of addiction, if you are struggling, you better be glad that you have made it in this moment. Guess what? You're 1 second free of your addiction. You've made 10 seconds free of your addiction. Then you look at the clock, you've made it 5 minutes without doing something to tear your body down. Celebrate that victory. Woohoo! You have made it. You have done something wonderful. Because you've made the first step. Celebrate your small victories because in the end, you will be victorious if you faint not. You got to keep going. Keep going. Because you are important. Your journey is as important as the next person's. Don't feel like, oh, they are an athlete, they're making all this money. I'm sitting here at this job and I don't compare yourself to them because guess what? Did you feel passionate about being an athlete? Do you feel like your purpose is to be on that basketball court or that football field or on that hockey team? Is that part of your destiny? Just because you're looking at the money doesn't mean that you're looking at a heart matter. Because if it matters in your heart, if it's the purpose driving you, if it's that thing that keeps eating away at you saying you've got to do something, this is not where you're supposed to be, this other place is going to be it, and you will be thriving when you get there, Come on. We want to look at somebody else's purpose and go, woohoo, I want that money. I want what they have. But you know the problems they have behind all that money? Do you have the headache they have behind all of that? Are you in the right headspace to have that? Come on now. Versus you doing what you're supposed to be doing that brings you passion, that brings you life, that brings joy to you and sustains you. I'm glad they're talented. I'm glad they can leap up high. I'm glad that they have just talents and gifts that are amazing. But guess what? I have some too. Going to the basketball hoop and shooting a ball doesn't make me want to be, a professional athlete. Going and running track doesn't make me feel like I want to be a professional athlete. It can bring you joy, it can bring you happiness, it can bring you physical relief of stress. But that's not the thing tugging in my heart that I want to do and the person I want to become. But I'm glad they have that gifting. I'm glad they know that they're able to do something so unique. But I look at a doctor, I look at a teacher, I look at a scientist, I look at an architect, I look at builders, I look at people who can do things that I can't do it, and I look at them in awe because I'm just like, wow, you got to be called to do that. Anybody just can't do that. Yeah, anybody can't just do what you do. You are so amazing at that. You got to give people credit where it's due. Because if you started giving people credit where it's due, you wouldn't be jealous of what they're doing. Jealousy starts off when you're wanting what they want and you don't respect their gifting and their talent. Because if you did, you wouldn't want what they have. You appreciate that they are able to verify their gift, that they know what they're supposed to be doing. Their gifting is mind-blowing, obvious. Have you heard somebody even, somebody can tell a story and you go, oh my gosh, that is you. Wow. I was right there in that book. Talent. Just because it's not on TV, just because you don't see or hear millions of dollars in your bank account, but you're eating. You have joy, you have peace, you can sleep at night. Don't be jealous of somebody else's gifting. We forget to thank other people for their gifting. Like, what? Yeah, thank you for making me think about what I need to be doing. You're good at that. Wow, you got some talent at that. Don't be so selfish where you can't tell other people about how their gifting is affecting you. Wow, your smile is just really blessing me. I feel better being in the same space as you. I feel better just being just hearing you talk about a subject. We have to be able to tell people. When we tell people about what we're noticing and the good in them, guess what? We're helping them grow. So they realize, oh, wow, I'm doing this all the time, but I don't even think about it. But, they're really listening to me. They're like, they're seeing this growth in me. And, you can see somebody just say, wow, you were struggling a while back, but wow, you have come a long way. What happened? What changed in you? Aren't these words encouraging? Aren't when you hear somebody telling you something that you're doing amazing at, you just feel good about yourself? How are you growing? How are you growing? What is it that you are growing into? Are you growing into an amazing person? Are you growing into somebody that nobody wants to be around? Is your bitterness making everything near you tainted? The thing about a plant is that the roots keep growing and growing. It's got to find what it needs to survive. Are you growing? We need to realize that what we are sowing, we are reaping. We want to make sure that we are being very good at what we're doing. Because I say very good because some people may think, oh, you want to be excellent. Yeah, you want to be your best. You want to strive. You want to keep pressing towards the mark, getting better, getting better, and getting better. Don't let tomorrow's problems forget you to be thankful for today. You can have that to-do list a mile long and you're just like, oh my gosh. But guess what? What did you get done today? I made my bed. I got up. I brushed my teeth. I showered. Like, you have to be on top of those things. The smallest things you need to be, praising yourself over. Be thankful that you did it, because when somebody's in a deep depression in their darkest moments, they don't want to get out of bed. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything that will help self-care. They don't want to brush their teeth. They don't want to do anything to maintain themselves. So you be thankful for those small moments. Well, I didn't get my list done. I have a to-do list so long. I didn't get anything done. Oh, goodness. But did you take a step? And if you're in a place where you don't even want to get out of bed, guess what? Did you roll over? If nothing else, did you roll over to the other side? Did you put forth the effort? So maybe tomorrow you can put your feet down on the floor. Maybe tomorrow you can just shift a leg near the side of the bed. Maybe the next day you can push that other one. I'm talking about step-by-step progress. We beat ourselves up over what we didn't do, but we forget to realize what we did do. Be grateful, be thankful, because those baby steps will help elevate you to be where you're supposed to be. And so I'm just here to encourage you to think about, how are you growing? Are you growing better? Are you growing worse? Put a stop to it. Guess who can stop it? You can stop it. You can stop thinking terrible thoughts. You can stop feeling defeated. Well, I don't want to stop. I can't stop. How am I going to stop? I keep thinking I don't have this done. I don't look like this. And they talking about me. They're doing this. Stop. You are better than where you are. You are better than what they say about you, because guess what? Nobody knows you. They may think they know about you, but they don't realize that it took everything you had to get up this morning. It took everything you had to just put on clothes. They may see where you are in your growing stage. They may still be seeing buds on your flower, but they haven't seen the petals yet. You're still growing. But you decide which direction you're growing. Be stronger, be better. Thanks for watching. See you next time, friends.